Hi there, welcome to the office where we advocate for universal laws and practicing love. This is part one of the video series on thanking Gaia, Divine Mother, Planet Earth, whatever name you're most comfortable with naming our beautiful planet. Now, my name is Viktoriya and I really like discussing things about the universal laws, topics around universal laws, and specifically being an advocate for practicing love in a variety of ways. And now in terms of the structure for today's content, we're going to have three parts. The first part is all going to be about me setting up a certain factual scenario in connection with the Divine Mother, thanking her for our meals in particular, as well as talking about a few universal laws that are at play. Part two is going to be an actual application of those universal laws, thinking about, how can we practice more love by giving Gaia the things that she deserves through thinking, through speaking, and through doing love for her benefit. And part three is all going to be all about some advice, an outcome, any next steps that we can take, any final parting comments that are relevant on this subject matter. So if you want to just start by, grabbing a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of water, whatever it is that you might desire. I've got a cup of peppermint tea here with me today, and we'll start straight up. So the factual scenario for today is something that is very common, and it touches upon every single person on a daily basis, and that's preparing meals, right? We're humans, we have to eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, those of you who enjoy your snacks. Now, my favorite is also dessert. Not too much of a sweet tooth, but hey, if there's dessert on the menu or dessert available, I will say yes to that. And so it really depends, I think, in terms of when you think about cooking meals, it depends on your role, right? How often do you get to cook? Do you cook just for yourself if you're a single individual, or if you're in a partnership, or you're married, do you cook for yourself and your spouse or your partner? Do you have a family? Do you have kids to feed, right? And so you'll be probably making a lot of meals, on a daily or weekly basis. You might be the cook in the family, or you might not be. That's fine. You'll still be eating. If you're not cooking, you'll be eating at some point in time, that's for sure. And also, if you think a little bit outside of the family structure, thinking about careers, there's a lot of chefs out there. You might be an assistant to a chef, or just simply assisting by working in the kitchen. So you're very close to the daily preparation and cooking of various meals. And come on, you're human beings. We love our food, right? I think deep down our heart, we're all a little bit foodies. There's probably a spectrum of foodies out there, going from, low to the most extreme. But I think we all love our meals, and, eating a meal together with family, with friends, with our loved ones is a very special moment, and a lot of social gatherings occur around meals, right? So I think talking about meals is a very topical thing, but I would like to flip it on its head a little bit, and actually, with the title of this video, it's all about actually thanking Gaia, thanking our planet Earth for the fact that we can cook meals and enjoy meals and allow those to nourish our bodies. And the thing we should be all aware of is, how often do you actually show gratitude for your meals? Are you a type of family or an individual where you say grace before you eat your meal? Is that something that you grew up with, or is that something that you started doing at your older age? I commend you on saying grace, and by all means keep doing that. Or if there's any other way of showing thanks to planet Earth, or to the universe, or to any particular religious figures, God, Jesus Christ, or any other, or for the ascended masters that you may resonate with, go for it. This video might be an alternative for you to think of, something that you can do as an alternative, or actually as an addition, right, to whatever you might already be doing. Now, the universal laws, if we jump into the second part of this particular video, so universal laws that are at play, the first one I want to kick off with is that everything is energy. I know something we're all aware of probably from our earlier days at school is that energy can't be created or destroyed, but energy can transform from one state to another, right? And so if you think about the food from the meals that you eat, it goes from, be that solids or liquids, it goes from one state, then you have a mouth and teeth to chew your food, you break it down, then your stomach does its thing with the acid, and then it goes down your intestines, and during that process, each piece of food that you eat actually breaks down. It transforms from one state to another, and ultimately, through the most minute of the particles, it turns into carbs, proteins, and fats. And each one of those actually has its own scientific names as well that I'm not going to go into, and there's a variety of each one of those types. The whole point is it ultimately converts into energy to make you do what you do, to make sure you can walk, you can run, you can think, you can do just your normal daily bodily functions that your body takes care of on a daily basis. So that's a lovely transformation of energy there. So and everything is energy, you're right. So it goes from one state to another. It doesn't dissipate, it just converts from one to another. Now, the second universal law that I would like to talk a little bit about is it sort of touches upon that everything is energy, and in my world, every single bit of energy actually has consciousness in it, awareness or consciousness. And so in my world, every single thing that you actually eat has consciousness of itself. And obviously planet Earth, Gaia itself, is full of energy, and it has the ability to actually transform energy that it contains into making sure that it effectively births the food that we create, right? That's why we, I guess, refer to her sometimes as, Divine Mother or Mother Earth, Planet Earth. There's that femininity to it. And, we know that feminine energy is the one that's most associated with the cycle of birthing, giving birth. So, and it's natural that if something births, it is natural that there's also an end to that process, or a cycle, end of the cycle, and that's when we have the decay. And I guess the whole point here is, if you think about it, the beautiful planet Earth, she's so intelligent. She goes and sets up all these seasons for us, right? Going from summer, autumn, winter, spring, and all year round. Every single time there's a different weather pattern. At some point in seasons there's more rain, to make sure that the food grows in the soil, to make sure that the seeds the seeds get exactly what they need in terms of the moisture. And then of course sometimes it's drier, so less moisture, to make sure that there's more sunlight, sunlight onto the plants, to make sure that they get what they need. Now, the last universal law I'd like to mention is actually the give and receive. So I mentioned it a little bit in my previous video, but it's that idea that, planet Earth, Gaia, she gives us a lot of good. She produces, she births the food for us. And the question is, what does she get in return? And our human perspective, for instance, when I grab the food, I receive the food, I'm the receiver, but what do I give in return? And I guess that's the point of this video, how much, do you actually appreciate planet Earth and Gaia for what she gives? How do you show your appreciation? So hold that thought, and we'll discuss more in part 2.